Hi everyone, welcome to Solo Yoga. My name is Edie and I will be guiding you through class today. So this class is focused on today around movements of the hips and trying to engage muscles that stabilize the hips. So glute, hamstring, also quite a bit of core as well. As always, everyone's body is different, so if you need to make adjustments throughout, feel free to do so. And what I'm talking about and targeting today may not necessarily be what you're looking to achieve with your practice, but consider it just a different way of moving, because we'll be working on different transitions, especially transitions that help to kind of engage more of the glute and hamstring and less knee in front of you, hip flexion. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and meet lying face up on the mat. And you can let both legs come long here, or you can bend your knees, but just start by taking a few moments to slow down and to bring more and more attention to your breath. Now, without the desire to change or fix how your breath is moving today, just start to pay closer attention to the natural rhythm of your breath. The depth, the pace, and as you are breathing here, take note of the back side of your neck. And from the base of your neck to the base of your skull, lengthen that distance. You can think of here sliding your palate back to do so, or just slightly drawing your chin back. And just take 3 more rounds of breath here. And at the bottom of your third exhale out, bend your knees, plant your feet down onto your mat. And bring your right ankle to rest on top of your left bent knee, coming into a figure 4. So a couple different movements of your right hip. First, you're gonna think of rotating your right thigh bone towards the right. And then encourage your right thigh bone to press forward. So a rotation open to the right and then thigh bone forward, just until it naturally stops. So no forceful press forward. And then flex your right foot here. So hug your right toes in towards your shin, press your heel away. And keep this shape here. Let your legs move side to side a couple times. So as you drop your legs to the left, roll to the outer edge of your left foot. And then think of your right thigh bone again, rotating open to the right, and then encouraging your thigh bone forward. Come back to center, plant your left foot down, and then let your figure 4 shape move to the right, roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Now pause here, let the weight of your right heel be heavy on your left thigh bone. And you can stay as is, just using the weight of your right heel, or press downward through your right heel and then ever so gently encourage your right heel to pull forward. It's almost lengthening here, the left side of your body and your left thigh. And come back to center here, plant your left foot down, straighten your right leg towards the ceiling. So see your right foot, point and flex your right foot. And draw circles with your right ankle. A couple times in one direction and then the other, before finding stillness. So as if you were to stand on the ceiling, create that here with your ankle, with your foot. So toes are gonna slightly draw in towards your shin while your heel presses upward. Lift your arms up overhead. Palms will face the ceiling. Take a moment here, find a neutral pelvis. So if you were to think about cat and cow, that sort of rotation forward with your pelvis, like you were sticking your butt out here, increasing the lumbar curve of your spine, and then as if you were to press the lumbar curve of your spine downward, tilting your pelvis back. So you want to find, based upon that tilt forward and back with your pelvis, the space between the two. If you were to look up as well, front hip points, pelvic points are level to one another. So keep that detail. Take an inhale breath, breathe into your abdomen, breathe into your rib cage, your back body. And as you exhale, engage your core by abdomen bracing. So if you were to visualize here blowing out a birthday candle, or as if someone was gonna punch you in the stomach, and you were gonna stand, hold that punch, and kind of pull back and brace. So keep that detail. Now as you inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling, interlace your hands, release your pointer finger, your thumbs, and on your exhale, lift the back of your head, your shoulder blades directly up. And it doesn't have to be really high. It might be an inch, might be a couple inches. Find your core, reach up and outside of your right leg. Inhale breath, lower back down. Keep your hands as is. Exhale breath, lift directly up and rotate to the right. Once more with that, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift directly up, rotate to the right. So we're gonna add on to that. As you inhale, lower back down, push into your left heel one-legged bridge. So as you press into your left heel, lifting your pelvis away from the ground here, push your right foot directly up. And on the exhale breath, release here, backside of your pelvis, lift up, reach outside of your right leg. Take 5 more rounds of that. Your inhale, lowering, push into your left heel, lift the backside of your pelvis. Exhale breath, release back down, lift up, reach outside of your right leg. Move at your own pace here. So it's not about how high you lift, but maintaining a neutral pelvis and trying to access your underside of your left leg. So your glute, your hamstring. Now once you've taken here your 5th round of lifting, reaching up and outside of your right leg, just simply lower back down, release your arms, rebend your right knee, place your right foot down. Now feet are hip width distance here, prepping for bridge pose. Knees are hip width distance. Press downward through both heels. Lift the backside of your pelvis up. Now once again here, the goal is not to tilt your pelvis, arch the lumbar curve of your spine to lift higher, but instead maintain a neutral pelvis, and you're pressing into your heels, squeezing your glutes, accessing glutes and hamstrings to lift your pelvis. Now a little bit more for the lower body as well, as if you had 2 blocks between your inner thighs without changing the distance of your legs. Think of squeezing those blocks. And as if someone had their hands to your outer thighs, think of pulling your legs apart into that resistance of someone's hands to your outer thighs. So hip adductors, adductors, abductors, adductors. It's a tongue twister. Both working together. Now roll your shoulders underneath you. Palms face down here, push downward into the ground. Keep your neutral pelvis. 3 more rounds of breath. Bottom of your 3rd round of breath here. Feel the front side of your body engage, abdomen brace. Roll your shoulders out from underneath you. And slowly, with control, lower your upper, your middle, your lower back down. And let both legs come long onto your mat. Lift your arms up overhead, take a full body stretch, big breath in. And as you exhale, just simply let everything go. So soften your arms, soften your lower body. And then just 1 round of breath here. And release your arms once again alongside your body. Rebend your knees. Figure 4 on the left. So left ankle will rest on top of your right bent knee. And now your left thigh bone, taking those 2 movements. So first, think of your thigh bone rotating open to the left. And then second, your thigh bone moving forward in space. Now just enough till it naturally stops. You don't have to force it. Flex your left foot. Draw your toes in towards your left shin while you press your heel away. And then allow your figure 4 shape just to move side to side. So you can drop here to the right, roll to the outer edge of your right foot. And come back through center, plant your right foot down. Now drop to the left, roll to the outer or inner edge of your right foot. Now, either with just the weight of your left heel to your right thigh, stay as is, or you can encourage here your left heel to press downward into your right thigh. And then without changing here the placement of your heel, think of pulling your heel forward towards your right knee. Just encouraging a bit more length here through the right side of your body, the front of your right hip, your hip flexors, quad. And slowly here, bring your figure four shape back to center. Keep your right leg as is, straighten your left leg towards the ceiling. And see your left foot here, point and flex your left foot. A couple times, roll out your ankle. And then pause here, find stillness as if you were standing on the ceiling here. Create that shape and action with your ankle, with your foot. And lift your arms up overhead. So once again, just to reference when you're away from neutral, tilt your pelvis forward. As you do so, you might feel your lower back start to lift away from the ground more, as if you were trying to intensify the curve of your lower back. And tailbone's gonna press back behind you down towards the ground. And then tilt your pelvis back here. So front of your hip bones are gonna start to press downward towards the ground, decreasing any sort of curve of your lower back space. Just once more with those two, and feel the difference when you're tilted forward in your pelvis, when you're tilted back. So based upon those two movements, find what feels like neutral, the space between for you. Take an inhale breath, breathe into your abdomen, your rib cage, your back body. And on your exhale, start to engage your core by abdomen bracing. Draw your navel up and in. Think of that pullback kind of bracing action. Keep it. Lift both arms towards the ceiling. Interlace your hands, release your pointer finger, your thumbs. Take an inhale breath. On your exhale, lift directly up. So again, it's not about how high, but you want to avoid crunching and instead lifting directly up. Find your belly. Rotate over outside of your left leg. So reach up and over outside of your left leg. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, breath, lift. Find the engagement first. Rotate up and outside of your left leg. So once more before we add the one-legged bridge. Now this time on your inhale here, as you lower, push into your right heel. Lift the backside of your pelvis away from your mat without tilting. Keep a neutral pelvis. Exhale, lower back down. Lift up, reach outside of your left leg. 5 rounds here, follow your own breath. And really trying to target now the backside of your right leg, so your right glute, your hamstring, core. And when you arrive at the bottom of your 5th round, you can release the back of your head, release your arms, bend your left knee, release your left foot. Take a peek, just make sure knees and feet are hip width distance. Push down into your heels. Lift your hips up, bridge pose. So again, as if you had a block between your inner thighs without changing the distance of your feet, your knees. Squeeze inner thighs. And as if you had someone pressing into your outer thighs, pull your legs apart into that imaginary resistance. Squeeze glutes underneath you a lot. Now a little bit more for hamstrings this round. Without moving your heels, try to imagine here pulling your heels towards your upper body. Roll your shoulders underneath you. Palms face down here. Push into your palms, push into your forearms. Lengthen the backside of your neck. So chin is not tucked in towards your chest, but there's some space. Now 3 rounds of breath. And at the bottom of your 3rd round of breath out, mindfully, roll your shoulders out from underneath you, lower your upper, your middle, your lower back down. Straighten your left leg, straighten your right leg. Lift your arms up overhead, take a full body stretch. And on your exhale, just soften everything. Let your arms relax, let your lower body relax. Find 1 more round of breath here with ease. And release your arms back down alongside your body. Flip to lie belly down. And as you flip to lie belly down here, straighten your arms long alongside your body. Come up onto your fingertips. So hands or fingers are tented. And let your legs be long here behind you. Take an inhale breath, visualize lengthening the sides of your body. So lengthening the distance from your pelvis to your shoulders. And as you exhale, once again, just simply lift directly up. Engage front and back side of core here. So the higher you lift, you might start to feel more engagement of the muscles that surround your spine. You want to maintain the front side of core still active. Lift the tops of your feet just to the height of your upper body. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards the middle of your upper back space. Fingers still connected. Now bring your inner ankle bones to touch. Find a slight bend through your knees till you feel your hamstrings kick on. Hold for one round of breath in and out. Bottom of your exhale, slowly lower out of that locust pose variation. And let your arms bend here. Just press yourself up into a tabletop. And from your tabletop, curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back, down dog. A couple rounds of breath here. Any feel-good movements you'd like. You can bend one knee as you work to straighten the other. Just pause. And with the next inhale breath that you take, any prep movements you'd like to make your way to the top of your mat. So if you like to bend your knees, bend your knees. If you like to look forward. And then you can walk here or jump forward, top of your mat. Once you get there, breathe in, lift halfway and stay. So as you lift halfway, lift high enough to find both front and back side of core. Same muscles you just found in your locust pose, lying belly down. And on your exhale breath, maintain length through your spine, fold forward. Once again, inhale, lift halfway and stay. Now as you lift halfway and stay, find more bend through your knees. Without changing the distance between your legs, your feet start to pull your feet apart till you tone your outer thighs. Reach your arms out to a T. Now fingers, you should be able to see them with your peripheral vision on each side. Without losing here that side of your fingers, on an inhale breath, squeeze your shoulder blades towards the middle of your upper back space. Bend your knees, reach your hips back like you were taking an awkward chair. Pull your feet apart, push down through your heels, stand up against your own resistance. Flip your palms up, lift your arms up, take an inhale. Exhale breath, palms pressed, hands together at the center of your chest. Close your eyes, take one full round of breath. Bottom of your exhale, from the top of your mat, release your arms. Now same figure four shape. Come up onto your right big toe here, so bend your knee in front of you, and then rotate your right thigh bone open to the right. So a lot like tree pose, but your heel's not resting on your left leg. Pause. Work for that rotation. Open first, and then push your thigh a little bit back behind you. Now while maintaining that rotation, so you're externally rotating your right hip, hands can come to your pelvic points just as feedback. So you want to maintain a neutral pelvis. Again, you're not tilted forward or you're not tucked under here. Space between the two. Take an inhale breath, expand your abdomen, your rib cage, your back body. And as you exhale, push down through your left foot, abdomen brace, draw your navel up and in, pick your right big toe up away from the ground. Next inhale breath that you take, turn your right thigh bone downward towards the ground. So it might kind of kick your right heel out to the side and up. And that's okay, doesn't have to be a lot. On your exhale breath, lean forward. So you're gonna lean forward like you were coming into your halfway lift. Find front and back side of core. Now right inner thigh is gonna lift away from the ground, right knee's reaching out to the side. Squeeze your right glute here. Slowly let your right knee move away from your upper body. Once it's behind you and you can no longer see, turn your right thigh bone downward. Bend your left knee, reach down and back with your right toes. Now for crescent lunge here today, instead of your traditional distance, we're gonna target here backside of the back leg. So in this case, your right glute, your right hamstring. Step your right foot in just about a half a foot width distance, so shorten your stance. Hands are gonna come to the fronts of your pelvic points, find your neutral pelvis. Take an inhale breath, slowly bend your right knee. And then pause here, let your right knee on the exhale just hover from the ground. Slight tuck of your pelvis back. Lengthen the front side of your right hip, squeeze, engage backside. Pause for 1 round of breath. Now find a neutral pelvis, stay for your inhale. As you exhale, squeeze your right glute, your hamstring, push your thigh here away from the ground. Inhale, bend your knee, keep your neutral pelvis, find your core. Exhale, push your thigh up. 3 more times. Bottom of your 3rd round here. Release your hands down to frame your left foot, find a low lunge. Now from your right fingertips inside of your left hand, just let that bottom hand be light. Inhale, lift your left arm, turn towards the left. Exhale, release your left hand back down. Step your left foot back to meet your right, find plank. Press the ground away from you. Draw your navel up and in. With your inhale, rock forward onto your toes. Shoulders are past your wrists. Exhale, lower halfway and pause. Subtle squeeze of your shoulder blades here. Lift the fronts of your shoulders. Bottom of your exhale, lower all the way down. Locus pose, arms straighten. Come up onto your fingertips. On your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, breath, lift. Inner ankle bones are going to touch and squeeze. Slight bend through your knees, squeeze your shoulder blades. 1 more round of breath. Bottom of your exhale, lower back down. Press yourself up into a tabletop. Curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back, down dog. And on your down dog here, grip your mat with your fingers. Lift your hips up. Push your heels down, press your thighs back. Next in-breath, any prep movements you'd like to make your way to the top of your mat. And then just make your way there. Breathe in, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway and stay. Feet are evenly pressing downward. Reach your arms out to a T. See your fingers in your peripheral vision. Without losing that sight of your fingers, on an inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades towards the middle of your upper back space. Bend your knees, reach your hips back. Pull your feet apart till you tone your outer thighs. Push into your heels, pull, push all the way up to stand. Flip your palms up, lift your arms up. Palms press overhead, exhale, hands together at the center of your chest. Take a breath. Bottom of your exhale, release your hands. Same thing, other side. So from the top of your mat this time, bring your weight into your right foot. Bend your left knee. Let your left big toe just rest to the ground. Rotate your left thigh open, so think your figure 4. You're gonna first rotate the thigh open and then press your left thigh back. Hands will come to your pelvic points. On your inhale, pick your left big toe up away from the ground. Pause on your exhale. Find your abdomen bracing here. Draw your navel up and in. With your inhale, turn your left thigh bone downward. Internally rotate. As you exhale, lean forward. Pause in your lean forward. And lift here. Your inner left thigh away from the ground. Squeeze your left glute behind you. Slowly let your left knee move away from your upper body. Once it's behind you, turn your left thigh bone downward. Bend your right knee, reach down and back with your left toes. Take a moment. Now again, for the sake of targeting backside here of the back leg, so left leg this time, half a foot width distance forward. And just shortening your stance to be able to maintain your neutral pelvis. More about keeping a strong core and keeping control with the movement than it is about length. Now on your inhale breath, bend your left knee just till it's hovering from the ground. Pause here. Tilt your pelvis back. Lengthen the front side of your left hip. Squeeze, activate backside. 1 round of breath here. Now stay for your inhale. As you exhale, slowly with control, push your left thigh away from the ground to straighten your back leg. Inhale, breath, bend your left knee, neutral pelvis. Exhale, straighten. 3 more rounds here, follow your own breath. Now, bottom of your third round, that you press your left thigh up. Release your hands down, frame your right foot, find a low lunge. Now your left hand will stay to the inside of your right foot, but come up onto your fingertips. So you're not bearing a whole lot of weight on that left hand. Inhale, breath, reach your right arm up. Turn your pelvis, your spine open to the side. Exhale, release your right hand back down. Step back here, find plank. Inhale, breath, rock forward onto your toes, shoulders move past your wrists. Exhale, lower halfway and stay. Subtle squeeze of your shoulder blades, lift the fronts of your shoulders. Bottom of your exhale all the way down. Last time, locust pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, breath, engage, lift. Inner ankle bones squeeze and touch, slight bend through your knees. Bottom of your exhale, lower back down. Bend your arms, press yourself up, tabletop. And then from your tabletop here, just sit back on your heels for a moment. If you have a block, you could place a block beneath your sit bones. And close your eyes. Let your gaze come to one non-moving focal point. And just take a moment to breathe. Feel your heartbeat. And feel how in this moment your body must be feeling different. So your breath may be moving at a different pace. Your mind may be in a different place. Take one more full round of breath here. And bottom of your exhale, come forward, find a tabletop, hands and knees. Last little bit here. So on your tabletop, hands and knees, with your inhale breath, reach your left arm out to a half T. And on your exhale breath, thread the needle on the left. Drop the side of your head down towards the ground. Your left arm's gonna thread behind your right. Now your right leg's gonna straighten out towards the side. You wanna avoid your heel dropping downward, but keeping your leg straightening directly out to the side of your mat. Right arm here can straighten out in front of you. Turn the center of your chest open to the side. Or if you'd like, bring your right arm here towards your lower back. So you bend at your elbow. Turn the front of your right shoulder just a little bit forward. With your half bind, you want to avoid here your elbow being away from your body, and instead let your elbow come closer towards your body and rotate open by turning your chest and engaging your core. Just a couple rounds of breath here. Eyes can be opened or closed, your choice. Bottom of your next exhale, release your right hand. Keep your right leg as it is. Lift yourself back up to a kind of awkward tabletop. Now let your right big toe just gently touch the ground, lift your heel, and then notch by notch take your toe back. Turn your thigh bone down. Lift your right heel directly up, find your right glute, your hamstring, and it's not about how high, but maintaining a neutral pelvis. Reach your left arm out in front of you, bird dog. Inhale breath, lengthen 2 directions, out your heel, out your fingers. Exhale breath like you are moving in slow motion. Start to slowly draw your elbow towards your knee. Now think cat pose here. Grip your mat with your right fingers, hollow out your belly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slow motion, draw your elbow towards your knee. One more round here. Inhale breath, straighten back out. And on your out breath, release your hand, your knee. Switch sides, reach your right arm out, half T. Exhale, thread the needle. Now this time your left leg here is going to reach out to the side. Left arm can straighten, or you can lift your left arm up here, bend it, find your half bind. You want to aim for not your elbow moving away from your body, but keep your elbow close, and then turn open by engaging your core and rotating the center of your chest open to the left. Couple of breaths here. Bottom of your next exhale, release your left hand back down. Lift yourself up to that awkward here tabletop. So left leg still out to the side. Now left heel is gonna lift up, left big toe is just gently to the ground, so little to no weight here. Notch by notch, let your left toe come back behind you. Turn your left thigh bone downward, find neutral. And without arching or tilting your pelvis, lift your left heel directly up using your glute, your hamstring. Bird dog on the opposite side, reach your right arm out in front of you. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, abdomen brace, draw your elbow towards your knee. Think of moving in slow motion, especially this first round. Really hollow out your belly, draw your chin in. Inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, breath, elbow to knee. One more round, follow your own breath. Inhale, breath, lengthen back out. Exhale, release your hand, your knee back down. And let your hands back out in front of you about a handprint distance. Find a long tabletop, let your sternum, your chest come forward. Curl your toes under, lift your knees up. Find plank. On your in-breath, rock forward. Exhale, lower halfway, pause. One full round of breath. Bottom of your exhale, lower all the way down. And flip back to lie face up. Arriving back on your mat where you started. Let your legs be long, your knees can bend. Let your shoulders here relax away from your ears. Arms can be alongside your body or take up space here. Let your arms come off of your mat. And lengthen the backside of your neck. And start to let go of the details. Let go of the effort you put forth. Rest assured that it was just the right amount. And start to focus in once again on the details of your breath. Just take here just 3 to 5 rounds.